Hello, welcome back. I'm Ron Mullet, and in this video I'm going to show you how I built this modern design table and bench. It's solid oak, and if you stick around I'll tell you a little secret about one of these legs. So let's get this thing going. I'm going to start with a stack of red oak boards. These boards are 10 feet long and 9 to 11 inches in width. I'll cut them to length first using my track saw. After that, I'll run them through the table saw to straight line all the edges. Then I'll run them through my planer to clean up all the surfaces and get them down to a standard thickness. I really like this Dust Deputy 2.5. With my shop vac connected, this thing will remove all the chips from my planer. I use biscuits in all my panel glue-ups. They do a great job in keeping all the boards aligned. Now that the tabletop has been glued together, I've hand planed it, I've hand scraped it, and did the first sanding with 100 grit paper. I'm now going to add a 3-inch wide strip along the outside edge, and that will give it an appearance of a much thicker tabletop without using a lot of wood. Now on the end, I'm also going to do the same thing to make this all parallel. But I've cut these quite a bit longer. They're 6 inches, and the reason for that is because I need this extra width to mount the leg, which is going to be probably maybe 3 to 5 inches thick. Now I'll use my track saw to cut the ends and the sides to square up the entire top. I'm using cardboard to help me visualize the size of the legs. I'm using poplar to build the frame for the legs. I have to rip them down to 2.5 inches and then cut them to length. I use a stop block on my fence to make sure they're all the same length. This is going to be the frame for the leg. It's going to be covered with resawn oak. The way I'm going to do this is I'll take all 4 of these inserts and then coat the end grain with glue. Now when you're doing an end grain glue up, it's always good to put a coat of glue on the end grain that will kind of soak in, and that way it'll fill up all the pores with the glue. Now just set those aside and let that glue soak in a little bit. Okay, the leg frames are made. Now it's time to resaw the oak to apply to those frames. This is 10 feet long, it's 10 inches wide. I'm going to cut it into 30-inch sections and then resaw it. Now I could apply oak plywood to this and not have to go through all this work of resawing. But where's the fun in that? This is woodworking, and that's what I love. This is all the resawn boards glued together into 4 individual panels. Lots of clamps will glue these panels onto the frame. Before I put this panel on here and cover this all up and seal that up, now some people may find this a little silly, but I think it's going to be fun. I'm going to put a little time capsule in here. I've got the front page of today's newspaper. It's September 22nd, 2022, and on the front page is the Nashville Songwriters Awards. What's more appropriate than that for Music City, USA? That's going to go in there. And then I wrote a little note with the date on it. If anyone finds this, I hope you're having a good day. I am. and I signed it and put my address on it. So years from now, who knows if this ever gets opened up or ends up in a landfill, or maybe some archaeologist will find it and I'll make history. I put it in a little envelope. There it goes. Here we go. Gone forever. The legs are finished. Now it's time to mount them to the table. So I'm going to mount these in a little bit from the end, and the way I'm going to attach them is with a piece of angle iron. I'll drill 3 holes there and 3 holes there, and I'm going to use lag screws to secure them. Yeah, that's not going anywhere. All right, I've got all the legs for the bench and the table. I've got the tabletop and the bench top all assembled and hand planed and rough sanded to 100 grit. Now it's time to do the final sanding. I've got 59 square feet of surface to sand, so it's going to take a while. So let's get started. All the legs and the tops have all been sanded to their final sanding, 150 grit, and now it's time to round over all these sharp edges. What I'm using is my small handheld router with an 1/8 inch roundover bit. Now it's time to apply the stain. I'm using Minwax True Black, and I'm going to apply it with a rag. This is easier than with a brush for this particular application. Everything's stained, and now it's time to put the clear coat on. I'm using Minwax polyurethane. It's a satin finish. It's very easy to apply and very strong. So there's the finished table and bench. Check out some of my other woodworking videos. I'll see you on my next one.